I think, possibly. Yeah. Let's do this. Today is day 99 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on at 28% of the way through. Learn ReactJS Part 1 here at Codecademy. And let's double check we've got audio. Yeah, we got audio. Webcam, golden, Codecademy, we got chat. Do we have chat? We've got you. Good. And other message stuff. And we're checking, and all is well. We are afloat. Back into the Twitch chat. On the phone. Beautiful. Okay. Back to Codecademy. Here we go. Continuing on, today's what? Day 3 of something of React. Day 99 in general. Day 3 of React. Hopefully that loads. There we go. Alright, so we completed JSX. We did Intro to JSX and Advanced. And now we've got React Components, and we are going to be tackling Lesson 1, your first React component. Components in Advanced JSX is probably going to be tomorrow, but we'll see, time pending, how things stand. But with that said, and without further ado, let's go. Let's do this. Go time. And there are, if it loads, how many sections for today? 10 sections. All right. Not bad. Not bad at all. From the top, React applications are made out of components. What's a component? A component is a small reusable chunk of code that is responsible for one job. That job is often to render some HTML. The term component, React component, and component instance all refer to the same thing. Take a look at the code below. This code will create and render a new React component. We've got variable React equals require React. Variable React DOM equals require React DOM. Variable myComponent class, React.create class, render function, return hello world, React DOM.render, the first argument, myComponent class, and the second argument, document.nonsense. Okay. Oh, we're falling apart. All right. A lot of that code is probably unfamiliar, mostly the top portion. However, you can recognize some JSX in there as well, some JSX in there, as well as React DOM.render. Yes, good times. We're going to unpack that code one small piece at a time. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand how to build a React component. Instructions. Carefully copy the example code into app.js. Copying carefully. Copied and pasted. Running. And we're running. And it's really thinking about it. There we go. Green check mark. Way cool. Onwards. Section 2 of 10. Import React. Woo. That's right. Your first React component. Oh, look at that. I made a React component. Take a look at the code on line 1. Line 1, variable React equals require React. Oh, and they've got it right here too. Okay, fine. Variable React equals require React. Require React returns a JavaScript object. This object contains methods that you need in order to use React. A O G S D H I OGSDHI. That's just like an amalgamation of letters, or am I just really bad at pronouncing names? Unless it's OGSD high. OGSD. It's okay. You're gonna be O for now, Captain O. Hello, BDX. I'm a new viewer. I'm curious if there's any reason for learning React as opposed to Angular. Congrats on your journey. Thanks for sharing. As of now, the only reason it's not necessarily learning React over Angular in the scheme of things, it's simply learning React before Angular. I'm learning it through, I'm just going through Codecademy right now, in general, for the last, what is it, 99 days? Yeah, 99 days of confusion and fun, but catalog, if it loads, I've just been going through all their courses, just following through one at a time, and React was simply the next on the list after JavaScript. Well, technically jQuery, but that was a very short section. Tons of fun, but they've got React Part 1 and then 2, and then there's Angular right there. It's coming. Angular is on the horizon, probably within, I'm assuming probably by this time next week, because Part 1's only taken us, we're almost a third of the way through, and it's only been a day or two, maybe 2 weeks, so maybe this will be, I don't know, 4 or 5 more days of this, 4 or 5 days of Part 2, and then, yeah, so we're coming. Angular is in our near future, and then Ruby, right? But I'm just going through, just trying to conquer all that is Codecademy before moving on, probably to Free Code Camp, and then also starting my own side projects, things to tinker on in my own free time, which will probably be streamed as well. But yeah, so no special agenda, just trying to follow whatever path Codecademy has laid out. That's that. Hopefully that answer suffices. And thank you for viewing. That's super awesome. Greatly appreciate that. And speaking of awesome things, where were we? We were learning something about React. We were requiring stuff on line 1. Require React returns a JavaScript object. This object contains methods that you need in order to use React. This returned object is called the React library. You've already seen one of the methods in the React library, react.createElement. Recall that when a JS element is compiled, it transforms into a react.createElement, empty parentheses, call. For this reason, you have to require the React library and save it in a variable named React before you can use any JSX at all. React.createElement must be available in order for JSX to work. Instructions: select new.js for new. On line 1, user required to import the React library. Save the library in a variable named React. Okay. So we're basically creating this line for ourselves. Variable. Nope, that's verbal. Backwoods of variable. React. They don't have it capitalized, do they? They do have it capitalized. Interesting. I guess it really doesn't matter because it's a variable, but just most variables I've seen usually are lowercase. This is capital. Capital? A lot of extra letters in that pronunciation. Wow, that's all we're doing? I just, usually it's not that straightforward. I mean, they do have a lot of straightforward tasks, but usually the instructions for straightforward tasks are usually very convoluted. So I'm always on edge. That's all I've learned for the last 99 days, is to be very wary of what they request. But that's it. On line 1, use require to import the React library. Cool. Okay, then we will do just that. Require React. And semicolon and run it. Maybe. That work? That worked. Hot damn. They weren't trying to trick us that time. Now take a look at the code on line 2. Variable React DOM equals require React DOM. Same song and dance as the last section, just to a slightly different beat. Require React DOM is very similar to require React. It also returns a JavaScript object, which contains React-related methods. However, there is a difference. The methods returned by require React DOM are for interacting with the DOM. You're already familiar with one of them, React DOM.render. The methods returned by require React don't deal with the DOM at all. They don't engage directly with anything that isn't part of React. They are for pure React purposes, such as creating components or writing JSX elements. Select new.js. Import the React DOM library on line 2, store the results in a variable named React DOM. So it'll be the same as this. We could and should just copy it, but we're going to type it out because we can. React DOM equals require and parenthesize single quotes followed by React DOM. Nothing special there. Beautiful, beautiful, semicolon. And we're going to run it. Green check mark. Very nice. Section 3 of 10 done. Onwards to section 4. Create a component class. Okay, now we're getting into the component side of things. Hey, Topher, streaming early today. Yes, I am, right? Found some time, and the stars aligned. Here we are, brighter and slightly earlier than normal. Slightly earlier by about 12 hours. Instead of starting the stream at 11:45 at night, we got a good jump on it right around noon. So, lucky us. Alright, onwards. You've learned that a React component is small. Not just that, there's more to that sentence. From the top, you've learned that a React component is a small, reusable chunk of code that is responsible for one job, which often involves rendering HTML. Here's another fact about components. Every component must come from a component class. A component class is like a factory that creates components. If you have a component class, then you can use that class to produce as many components as you want. To make a component class, you use one of the methods in the React library, react.createClass. Look the code in app.js. A lot is still unfamiliar, but you can understand more than you could before. On line 4, boom, 4. On line 4, you know that React.createClass's job is to create a component class, which is like a factory for building React components. You also know that React.createClass is one of the methods on the object returned by require React on line 1. Yeah, I kind of glazed over and lost interest about halfway through that sentence. Something about something. You also know that React.createClass, this guy, React.createClass is one of the methods on the object returned by this guy, require React on line 1. Gotcha. This is pulling from this dude, and that dude's pulling on another dude. OGS, thanks, Beta. I admire your efforts. The programming learning curve is increasingly difficult. Keep it up. Best wishes from a new follower. Thank you. I greatly appreciate that. It's definitely been interesting over the last 99 days. Wow, tomorrow's day 100. Interesting. Good, good, good. Kind of like falling with style. Not really flying. Just, you know, we're doing our best. Doing our best. Alright, so we made it to here. Select new.js. Skip line 3. Skippity doo-dah. Down to 4. On line 4, create a component class by calling react.createClass. Don't pass in any arguments just yet. Got it, got it. Do. Skip line 3. On line 4, create a component class by calling react.createClass, empty parentheses, don't pass any arguments. Do we create a variable? Or we're just literally calling it. That's all we do. We're taking this guy and put it on line 4. I'm just concerned because they've got a variable and all that other fun, cool stuff. This is what I was saying about following their instructions. I can't ever tell what the hell they're truly asking for, but that is what they wanted. Okay, cool. Cool. Nice. Good. Calling react.createClass is the way to make a new component class. When you want to make a new component class, you should store it in a variable so that you can use it later on. Aha, that's where the variable comes in. On line 4, notice that our component class is stored in a variable named myComponentClass. As we were just discussing, component class variable names must begin with capital letters. Oh, and that's why React is capitalized. See, I was confused. That's why we were discussing that at the beginning. Why the hell are the variables here capitalized when everywhere else it's been lowercase? That's why. They made us wait for it. Gotcha. Okay. So, component class variables must begin with capital letters. Cool. My component class. This adheres to the naming convention in which class names are written in upper camel case. There are technical reasons for this as well. We'll get into those soon. Look, it's all coming together. It only took 99 days. Let's see what they have to say. Okay. Java. In Java, naming conventions for identifiers have been established, suggested by various Java communities, such as Sun Microsystems, Netscape, Ambisoft, etc. A sample of naming conventions set by Sun Microsystems are listed below, where name in camel case is one composed of a number of words joined without spaces, with each word's initial letter in capitals. For example, camel case. Classes and such, methods and such, variables and such, and constants. I'm sure I should probably read all of those, but the important thing is that we know where to find the info. So, that's that. Topher classes are capitalized by conventions. Hey, an aspiring developer. Nice. We welcome aspiring anything, right? Yeah. Good, good. So, let's close out of that noise. We close that tab. Alright, so select new.js. Restore the result of React. Whoa. Store, not restore, just store. Lies. Select new.js. Store the result of React create class in a variable named myComponentClass. So we are continuing on variable my, capitalize, component, no space, class, equals React.create class. Perfect-ish for now. We get more to add. 6 of 10. Very nice, very nice. Let's review what you've learned so far. Find each of these points in apps.js on line 1. Variable React require React saves a JavaScript object into your file. This object contains methods that are needed to make React work, such as react.createElement and react.createClass. 1. Important. On line 2, variable React DOM equals require React DOM saves another JavaScript file into your file. This object contains methods that are concerned with the DOM interaction, such as React DOM.render. Line 2, also important. On line 4, React.createClass returns a new component class. A component class is not a component, it's more like a factory that produces components. Every component must come from a component class. When you call React.createClass, you should save the return component class in a variable. That variable's name should be written in upper camel case. Cool. Something we haven't talked about yet is the argument that gets passed to React.createClass. I assume we're talking about this guy inside. React.createClass takes one argument. The argument must be a JavaScript object. This object will act as a set of instructions explaining to your component class how to build a React component. Here's what your instruction object would look like on its own. Find it in app.js. Render function, return hello world. Render function, return hello world. Okay. So it's going to render something, empty parentheses, no parameters in there, and when that occurs, it will return hello world in H1. Cool, cool. That doesn't look like a set of instructions explaining how to build React component. Yet that's exactly what it is. Click next, and we'll go into how these instructions work. It's like they're reading our mind. How cool is that? Next. Let's talk about the instructions that you pass to React.createClass. For starters, these instructions should be stored in an object. Variable instructions, curly braces. Hear that? Time to get curly. See that? Curly. Yeah, they weren't lying. This is only one there is only one property that you have to include in this object, a render function. A render function is a property whose name is render and whose value is a function. The term render function can refer to the entire property or just to the function part. Variable instructions, render function, empty parentheses. A render function must have a return statement. Usually this return statement returns a JSX expression. We've got render function, empty parentheses, then inside more curly braces, we've got our return JSX statement or expression, return hello world in this particular example. Of course, none of this explains the point of a render function. All you know so far is that its name is render. It needs a return statement for some reason, and you have to include it in the object you pass to React.createClass. We'll get to the why. We'll get to the why of it soon. Okay, cool. Awesome. What languages are you learning / working with? JS is the only language I've studied. The many JS frameworks and libraries have kept me busy. Nice. That's awesome. I'm still in the midst of coming to terms with all that with all that JavaScript and its different, I guess, libraries have to offer. Topher, yes, the JavaScript ecosystem is a bit flooded at the moment. Good, good. Maybe that explains why it feels like I'm drowning. Do. Although it's not that bad. I've been enjoying the last 99 days. Learned a shit ton, that's for sure. What were we doing? We were gonna learn the why of it, and now we're on to instructions. Good, good. Select new.js. We're selecting and we're selecting. Make some new lines between variable React DOM equals require React DOM and variable component class. Whoa. Here. Good. Make some new lines between variable React and in this new space, declare a variable named component blueprint. Set component blueprint's value equal to an empty object literal. Oh, I think they just mean curly braces, right? Fingers crossed. Here we go. Component variable. Component blueprint. Copy. Equals. I want to do just empty curly braces and call it a day. I think that's object literal. Because if we were to do object literal notation in JavaScript, I'm pretty sure it would have been the curly braces. Haha! Green check mark. Deal with it, Codecademy. In your face. Alright, 2. Success. Add a property to your component blueprint object. This property should have a name of render and a value of this function. So, copy your property, add a property to component blue. This property should have a name of render. Render should have a value of blah equals, no, colon. That was close. Function. Do we do another semicolon? They don't have a semicolon there, so I'm not going to do a semicolon either. We're just going to run it. Cool. No semicolon there. Awesome. Now let's fill out the render function. Inside the render function's body, write a return statement that returns the JSX expression, hello world. Good. We're on the edge of success. We're returning inside the curly, pasting, and this guy from their example has semicolon at the end of it. Okay, nice. And you know what? That makes sense. The curly braces here for function didn't need it because this guy's getting the semicolon at the end and the variable itself has the semicolon. So we're good. This guy, colonless. Good to know. All right. Everything is right in the world. We're going to hit run. Everything's wrong in the world. This is what it feels like when everything's wrong. The planet is shattering around us. We have received an error. Make sure that the render function has a return. Oh, you slimy goddamn. I forgot to type render or return. Son of a bitch. Return. Damn you and your noob skills. Some countries, they cut your hands off for that. Actually, you know what? I don't think there's any countries that would cut your hand off for that, considering how new the internet is in JavaScript and all that. In the perspective of history as a whole, you know, all of time. There are countries where they'd cut your hand off for stealing and stuff like that, but during those times in those countries, JavaScript wasn't really around during that time. We're getting off topic. That's okay. Back to section 4. No more hand cutting. Just a simple error. No one's losing their hands today. So far. Tomorrow, though, maybe. We never know what the future holds. Pass component blueprint to React.create class as an argument. Now React.create class has everything it needs. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's doing what? Pass component blueprint to React create class as an argument. Now React create class has everything it needs. So I'm just shoving blueprint into here. Pretty sure that's what they want. Yeah, that's what's happening. Component blueprint. Why is component blueprint not in the upper camel case as everything else? One of these things is not like the other. Capital, capital, lies, capital. No. Bad component. Isn't that strange? No? Perhaps not. We're going to pass that in there. Apparently that's what they wanted. Shove this into that. Not literally what they said. They said it with their eyes. But that's the general gist. And they gave us a green check mark. Cool. Despite the lack of capitalness. True, it seems the programming community is somewhat divided in general. I'm mostly starving for proficiency, which is how I ended up here, seeking others to share in the abuse. True dat. Yeah, 99 days of confusion, right? We just happen to be doing coding. But it hurts. In a good way, I suppose. Alright, saving the instructions. Let's do this. Saving the instructions object in a variable is a nice way to illustrate how it works, but it basically never happens in practice. It's much more common to see something like this. Variable myComponentClass equals React.create class render function return hello world, semicolon. Select new.js and compare it with this example. Now, how in both, not now, we're smashing words together. Notice how, in both the example and in new.js, the instructions object, this is missing an apostrophe. They thought they were going to escape. But they were wrong, damn it. Alright, the instructions object that gets is there supposed to be? We're going to bypass the grammar issue and or my stupidity / confusion. Moving on. Notice how in both the example and in new.js, the instructions object gets passed to React.create class is exactly the same. Render function, return hello world. Okay, the only difference is where the instructions object is defined. 1. At the bottom of new.js, delete component blueprint, but we made such a nice component blueprint. At the bottom of new.js. Okay, so we're jumping over here. Delete component blueprint from between the parentheses of React.create. Okay, you get to burn in React hell, delete, forever destroyed, obliterated. No one will speak the name component blueprint ever again. Okay, so we did that. We deleted that. Carefully cut the object save component blueprint. Well, that was very short-lived, as we just spoke it once more. Son of a bitch. Carefully cut the saved object from there. Command X for Mac, Control X for Windows. Paste the object between said parentheses. When you're done, you should be left with variable component blah. Delete variable component blah. Feel free to use the example code as a guide. Fair enough. Do we take the curly bits? That's my main question. I don't think we do. Render, curly stuff. I guess we do take the curly bits. Come on. There we go. Copy. You know what? Here. B. And then... Actually, no. Something's wrong. There's a disturbance in the force. This feels wrong. My soul feels itchy. Let's look at app.js. So, aha, look at that, look at that. So why did I have an extra one? That's why it looks stupid to me when I did it the other way. Command Z. Was not going to remove it. There we go. So why did this... It was the extra one over here that was bothering me. You know what it is? It's not extra stuff here. Well, it is. It's that stupid semicolon. It's that guy. On line 14, the first semicolon, he doesn't belong there. We've got a stowaway. Yeah. That's definitely what's going down. Okay, we're gonna get rid of that guy. And I think... Does that seem better? Yeah. That seems good. Okay, cool, cool. So we've got that. We're left with just you. And we can destroy this. Actually, now we can really compare. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. That's it. Fire away. Run. Angry red error or green check mark. Friendly green check mark. So nice. Next, section 9. Here we go. What's this? Can be somewhat overwhelming. True, it seems. Programming community somewhat divided in general. Proficiency, yes, abuse. Yeah, it's always divided since everything is so opinionated. Some people love Angular and hate React, or love React and hate Vue. None of it matters. There's no right tool, just the right tool for the job. Through that sentiment to live by. All right. My component class, section 9 of 10. Cool, cool. We are nearing the end. My component class is now a working component class. It's ready for something. It's totally distracted. Don't mind me. Okay, my component class, now working component class. It's ready to follow its instructions, object, and make some React components. It's ready to follow its instructions, object. Yeah, I guess that works. It's is possessive. Instructions would be plural in regards to the object. I digress. So let's make a React component. It only takes one more line. My component class. Oh, and it's a self-closing tag. Fun. To make a React component, you write a JSX element. Instead of naming your JSX element something like h1 or div like you've done before, give it the same name as a component class. This guy, my component class. All right. Voila. There's a component instance. Okay. I think I follow. JSX elements can be either HTML-like or component instances. JSX uses capitalization to distinguish between the two. That's why component class must begin with capital letters. Oh, look at this. The mystery's solved. How fun. Okay. This is like a really bad murder mystery dinner again, and we made it to the end. It was the first mate who killed the captain. All right. All is well. JSX can be either HTML-like or component instances. JSX uses capitalization to distinguish between the two. That's why component class names must begin with capital letters. In a JSX element, the capitalized first letter says, I will be a component instance and not an HTML tag. Very cool. At the bottom of new.js, create an instance of my component class. I wonder if you want us to put it in the React DOM.render. Probably not yet. I think they just want this bit. Pretty sure they just want that. My component. Sound it out there, Stephen. Component class. There we go. Cool, cool. And run. Print check mark. Very nice. 10 of 10. We've there's a lot going on here. We've almost made it, right? We're right there. You have learned that React.create class must be passed an instructions object like this one. Render function, return, h1 hello world. You haven't learned why that object is a set of instructions. It doesn't look like instructions. How does it work? Whenever you make a React component instance, the component inherits all the properties on its class's instructions object. Your instructions object has one property, a function named render. Therefore, my component class has a function named render. You could make a million different my component class instances, and each one would inherit the same exact render function. This lesson's final exercise is to render your component. Fortunately, your component already has a render function. It inherited it from my component class. Now you just have to call that render function. It's all coming together. To call a component's render function, pass the component to the React DOM.render. Okay, so we've got React DOM.render. This is just like all the other JSX stuff we learned yesterday and the previous day, day 97 and day 98. So we've got React DOM.render and then our two arguments, my component class, which is our single tag that we already have here. Beautiful. And then we'll be adding document.getElementBy ID app React DOM.render will tell my component class to call its render function. My component class will call its render function, returning hello world, and then React DOM.render will take that hello world and add it to the virtual DOM, eventually making it visible on screen. Haha, see that? Tons of fun. Okay, select new.js. Render my component class. Select new.js. Render my component class. For React DOM's second argument, pass in document.getElement. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So let's do React DOM.render. The parentheses. Oh, one parenthesis. And they've got it spread across multiple lines. That's in the example. What about over here? Yep, they've got it spread across multiple lines too. Okay, cool. We will follow suit. We'll do you there. Do we need to have the space? You know what? I think we do. I don't know if the space is actually necessary in general in the scheme of life, but I believe it is necessary probably for this lesson because there was some other lesson where we were doing, it was yesterday, there were self-closing tags and there was the space. And initially, I didn't put the space and I ran it and it just kept spinning for like a good 45 seconds of just nothingness. Then I refreshed the page, added the space, ran it again, gave us the green check mark almost immediately. So yeah, I don't know if that has any real world implications of having the space or not, but it does have implications here with Codecademy. So that's that. Document dot something. We're gonna copy that. We've done good at typing most of today's stuff out, but that one, we've earned the copy. Cool, and let's do the closing parenthesis, and the final semicolon for today, day 99. And we'll run it. Hello world. Boom. Green check mark and a badge. Look at that. Hot damn. And we'll look at the chat. Despite the struggle, it's proven to be worthwhile. It's rewarding to create solutions, which I feel is my main motivation. I'm encouraged by those. I'm encouraged to meet those like BDX who are determined to improve alongside others. True dat. It's been a good journey so far. Alright, so there's that. Day 99. We live to fight on another day. Up next, we will take a peek at tomorrow's stuff. We've got components in advanced JSX. Apply your knowledge of JSX to React components. Oh, that sounds like it's going to be real interesting. All right. What do we have on the... Oh. There's only 7. Maybe this isn't the end of day 99. Hold on. We'll do a taste. This seems like a beefy section 1, but this is a slippery slope, but maybe it's a slope worth sliding down. In this lesson, you'll learn some common ways that JSX and React components work together. You'll get more comfortable with both JSX and components while picking up some new tricks. Take a look at this HTML. Block, quote, paragraph. The world is full of objects, more or less interesting. I don't wish to add any more. Paragraph, site, target, blank, href, bit.ly, Douglas, Hubler? Closing anchor, closing site, closing block quote. How might you make a React component that renders this HTML? Select quotemaker.js to see one way of doing it. The key thing to notice in QuoteMaker is the parentheses in the return statement on lines 6 through 18. Until now, your render function return statements have looked like this without any parentheses. Return h1 hello world. However, a multi-line JSX expression should always be wrapped in parentheses. This is why QuoteMaker's return statement has parentheses around it. QuoteMaker's return statement. I don't see any parentheses. Am I on drugs? Am I missing? Have I just gone blind to parentheses? Maybe it's selective vision. Maybe I subconsciously don't want to see parentheses. I see carrots. I see tags. I see text. Maybe they're just making a general statement about... That's why QuoteMaker's return statement... Who the f*** is QuoteMaker? Did I miss something? Here's another quote formatted in the same way. Block quote paragraph. What's important now is to recover our senses. Blank Susan's tag. Select the quote maker. Oh, Topher, you're a lifesaver. I was about to jump out the window. Quotemaker.js is a thing, everybody. Good, good. I'm the idiot. Good. Instead of app.js. Gotcha. Fascinating. Maybe we've used all of our thinking power for today. Perhaps we will save this for tomorrow. The fact that it's only 7 user variable. So what exactly did they want us to do? Here's another quote formatted same way. In app.js, write a React component that renders this HTML. Render your component using React DOM.render. Use quotemaker.js as a guide. Remember to require React and React DOM at the top of the file. And remember to React DOM render your component file at the bottom of the file. If you don't like this quote, feel free to add a different one. Okay. So we're adding that in app.js. Why would they have it at the back? Usually they have all their example guide template code on the first tab instead of the second one. I figured after 99 days we would have seen all the inconsistency they had to offer. No. Every day it's something new. Okay. Moral dilemma. Do I conquer this now or wait till later? I think I'm going to conquer it now. My bladder is telling me to conquer this later. But first, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. It means we might need to speed through this, but we're partying on. All right. First things first, deal with the bladder fiasco, and then deal with the quote maker conundrum, right? Let's do that. Go time. We'll be back. Alright, crisis averted. And now, back to the source of the bladder fiasco, right? It's a vicious circle. Alright. We're gonna knock this out. We're gonna do it. The party continues for day 99. Okay. Here's another quote formatted in the same way. App.js. Boom. Render stuff. Quote maker. Remember to require React, require DOM, and render. Is it wrong to steal it? I should type it out. I really just want to highlight the damn thing. You know what? We're going to copy this, and then we'll add on to line 2. There's that, followed by, check this out, DOM, boom, hyphen, ta-da, see, that was a good balance in between. And then React DOM dot render and semicolon. Oh, no? I don't have a semicolon there. I'm pretty sure that it gets a semicolon, doesn't it? Yep, semicolon. Okay. Run that. Hopefully. Green check mark? Maybe. I see it spinning. Fuckers. Oops, the test returned an error. You may have a syntax. Oh, I need to put in the whole friggin' quote thing. Right. Use quote maker as a guide. Remember to require blank at the top of the file. Remember to blah. Okay, if you don't like the quote. So now we get to take variable quote maker equals React create class. Hold on, am I just basically copying all of this? Why? That's all I have to do? This seems odd. Use multi-line in JSX. Use a variable attribute. Put in logic. This seems like an oddly formatted activity. We'll continue on. Variable quote maker react.create class. Variable quote maker. You could copy it, but I think they want you to attempt writing it out yourself. What language is this? This is React, ReactJS. One of the many forms of JavaScript. Variable quote maker equals react.create class. Create class. I'm only familiar with C++, working on C#. Tons of fun. They don't have, that's one of the languages they don't have here at Codecademy, is any of the C languages. C#, C++, definitely lacking in that area. It's pretty similar in a lot of ways to C languages. Well, that's cool. I always thought it was a totally different beast. Okay, there's that. Create class. We've got quotes, or parentheses. Yes, and this. You get a semicolon. So render function blah. Render colon function parentheses curly braces. Now we put in, is it a return statement? Our return statement, which also gets another open set of parentheses. Return statement, more parentheses, and now we're putting in our quote nonsense, which we are just going to copy all of this because that's more fun than anyone wants to deal with. Quote, no, why does that look stupid? Paragraph goes over. Aha, beautiful. Something, oh, it's a different quote. Okay, cool. Oh, I took from up there. I should have taken. What's important is blah, and here, something about senses, copy. Nice. Oh, the damn target is off. H reference. Copy from the quote to there. Boom. All is well in the universe. We've got render quote maker blank diddly blank. Where'd it go? Quote maker as a single close or as a self-closing tag. Copy quote maker, comma, followed by document dot something or other. Okay, now everything should be relatively okay. Run. Fuckers. Oops, the test returned an error, maybe a syntax error or a typo, see full error. Oh my god. You know, 99 days of this, and I can't say that I'm quite ready to interpret what the deuce all of this is. Something's not a function. I'm just gonna take it as a I missed. So let's compare. Aha, you see that? You see that? Look at that. It's the semicolon. We got it right there. Line 18. You see that one flickering back and forth between the two? Sneaky son of a bitch. Okay. We got it. This. That highlights my ability to forget things. And what's going down? Oh, and still error is beautiful. Pretty similar to C, except it's dynamically typed. Did you do any ES6 tutorials with class? Can't say that I have, no. React.create class, lowercase c in create. Oh, yeah, of course, that's another thing where I totally screwed that up. Alright. How is that? That looks pretty damn similar. Alright, so we had a missing semicolon and a stray capital C, and it put stuff up and gave us a green check mark. Beautiful. Next. Good call, Topher. Alright, take a look at this JavaScript object named red panda. Variable, red panda source, something bit.ly, alt, red panda width, 200 pixels. How can you render a React component and get a picture with a red panda's properties? Select redpanda.js. See one way to do it. This is one way to create a red panda. Cool. App.js. Select blank. Okay, note that all the curly braces JavaScript injections inside the render function, lines 16 through 18. Okay, we'll jump back. We're noticing lines 16 through 18. Source, alt, and width. Redpanda.source, redpanda.alt, redpanda.width. You can and often will inject JavaScript into JSX inside of a render function. Okay. Select app.js on lines 1, 2, import React DOM, or import React and React DOM, save them in variables, named React and React DOM respectively. I'm just going to steal them. I am. There we go. Boom. Stolen. Everyone saw it. I'm not denying it. Thief. Run. What do you think of the new ES6 syntax? for creating classes. Do you do any ES2? I haven't experienced any of the ES6 stuff. Maybe, I know they're going to be updating some of their courses here on Codecademy pretty soon, in like the next, I want to say 2, possibly 3 months, once summer hits. So, what, we're already in spring. So it is coming up. There'll be update. I think this course, I think basically all the JavaScript related courses are going to be updated. So for any new syntax stuff, hopefully, fingers crossed, they cover that. I've talked to a lot of JS purists who hate it, but I agree. I like it a lot. Concise and familiar. Good to know. Good to know. All right, line 2. On line 10, down here, declare a new variable named owl. Variable owl. Capital O. Yep, capital O. Set owl equal to react.createClass equals react.createClass, copy. Pass an object to react.createClass. The object should contain a render function that returns a div. Feel free to use your panda.js as a guide. Oh yeah, we're gonna reference the shit out of that. I'm gonna get refy. Something about pandas and owls. It's the same nonsense as last time. But this time, we've got our lowercase create class. Cool. Let's do... Was it render function and then curly braces? No, it was curly braces, then render. Should have been paying attention, Steven. Should have been paying attention. Render function, empty parentheses, curly stuff. Was it curly stuff outside or inside? It was outside. And then return gets its own unique set of return semicolon. That's where we went wrong last time. And now we get all the div stuff. So there's this div 1 dose closing div again, followed by h1. Do we really need, what else? On line 10, blah blah blah, follow all this. It returns a div. Oh, they just want the div for now. Just diving for 2. We're going to get to the h1 in step 3. We get the green. They like it. We get the green. Onwards. Nest in h1 inside of the div. Inside the h1, put owl.title. Remember, you have to use curly braces to access owl.title. Since it's a JavaScript property, don't forget to wrap the whole multi-line JS expression in parentheses. As much as programmers try to cut out repetition, it's actually the best way to learn. Build something, build it again, and 100 more times until you can do it without thinking. That's what code katas are for. I want to learn how to hack people, make them post embarrassing shit so they kill themselves. Committed. Well, you know, it's always good to have a mission statement. All right. Something about 3. Yeah, let's do that. H1. Let's do this. Owl title. So owl.title. That's the title. Not exactly. I mean, they kind of give away the ending of the story right there in the title, but good on them. H1. H1. owl.title. And then we end up with, is it on the same line or indented? It's on the same line. Image, self-closing tag. It closes down on the third line with width. Image. Stuff, and stuff. Width, space, closing tag. Beautiful. Don't forget to wrap the whole. Oh, are they're gonna give me shit for having image in there first? God damn it. Cut it. Run. There's a white hat hacking series on Udemy right now. Really thorough and interesting, taking control of people's computers, accessing their webcam, etc. Wow. Interesting. Owl's H1 should contain owl type. Oh, and curly braces. You. Well, interesting. How come panda isn't in curly braces? Maybe it's the dot title? Maybe that's the difference. Dot title. Run that. Must have been the dot title throwing it off. Okay. Inside the div, make a new line after the H1. On your new line, add an image element. Your self-closing image tag should have two attributes, source and alt. Paste. So this will actually be alt equals, is it quotes or curly braces? Curly braces it is. Single space, source, curly braces equals, all right, owl.source, and we're going to do owl.title. Copy, owl.title, owl.source, and that's it for 4. At the bottom of the file, use React DOM.render to render the instance of owl. Render DOM second argument should be blah. Of course it should be. We're going to steal that because we can. And owl. Is it really just owl? Huh. Yeah, it is just owl. Good to know. Running. Excellent owl. That's the big ass face with some beady yellow eyes. Good. I can only learn to hack people's internet and get their password. Even hack into someone's, like their iPhone, to see who they text and stuff. Easy, just oh wow. Wombora. It's easy to spend 3 to 6 years learning this stuff. It's illegal to learn anything. Using it is it's legal to learn anything. Using it is another matter. More like 10 plus years. Want to be able to hack into my girlfriend's phone, be able to see who she texts. Ask her. Oh wow, Wombora, you're just on point. Good God. People lie. If you want to hack into her phone, she should not be your girlfriend anymore. There's this thing called trust in a relationship. I think maybe it'd be easier and faster to establish a relationship based on communication and trust. I don't know, but you can already tell I like you, Wombora. I don't know you, but I can already tell I like you. Yeah, man. Good God, right? Amen to that, Topher. Wombora. They know what's up. I don't know, I kind of like the 3 to 6 or 10 year plan of learning. You might meet someone new. emoji over your, your next multi-year learning session. I've met a handful of people just in 99 days here. I'm sure you'll meet a ton of people in 3 to 10 years learning interesting stuff. Might be worthwhile. Do. And then think of all the other people you can, we'll call it, interact with after you have all of your super coding abilities to hack and stuff. Just saying, might be worthwhile. Okay, we're on to section 3 of 7. Every time it looks like it's a small section, each one is just filled with shit. Ugh, that's alright. Okay, a render function must have a return statement. However, that isn't all that it can have. A render function can also be a fine place to put simple calculations that need to happen right before a component renders. Here's an example of some calculations inside a render function. Variable random equals react.createClass render function. First, some logic that must happen before rendering. Variable n math.floor math.random empty parentheses times 10 plus 1. Next, return a statement using that logic. Return h1 number is n in curly braces. And yeah, good. Watch out for this common mistake, though. Are we watching? Variable random equals react.createClass. Okay, same song and dance is up here. This should be in the render function. Variable n equals math.floor math.random times 10 plus 1. Did I miss something? Variable's green and n is orange versus variable n is all blue. The same format, maybe it's happening later. Render function, return the number n. Alright, I think I'm totally missing it. Is it just this? Is it just the fact that this has the render function with the curly brace and everything's in there? I think it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It must be that. It's got to be the render function thing. All I need is a hack, do an SS7 and know her phone number. PC SS7. And you already know it. Go ahead. Yeah, simple. Yeah, I like that plan. No need to wait 10 years to figure it out. Do. But imagine what you could do with 10 years of knowledge at your fingertips. Could happen. Could happen. Just saying. That's a thing. Alright, instructions. Let's make a render function with some logic in it. On lines 1 and 2, import React, React DOM. Variable capital React equals something. Was it parentheses? I think it was. Single quotes. React variable React DOM equals parentheses, single quotes, React hyphen lowercase DOM. Pretty sure that's what needed to happen. Run. Oh, semicolon at the end of both. Typical. I was thinking about them internally, didn't say it. I knew I should have done it. Day 99, rookie mistake, Stephen. Rookie mistake. What to do? Oh, require and require. You soulless son of a... You know, we were right there. Require. I was like, shouldn't there be some orange involved with this message? There it is. Well, at least here at Codecademy. 2 of, holy shit, 6. Alright, on line 20, declare new variable named friend. Set friend equal to component class. Whoa. Line 20, down here. Variable. Friend. Capital. Equals. Set friend equal to a component class made with React.create class. React.create class. Parentheses. Curly stuff. Give this object one property. Hey, little kitty, what are you doing? Ho. Who's a good little kitty? You are. You're stepping on chat on my phone. And you're stepping on the keyboard. Wow, you're just... I can't see what you're typing, but I know you're typing stuff because you're holding down the C and other... Oh, yep, good. Okay. Did you need to go nap somewhere? Or you just want scratches? While you're here and while I'm scratching, I'm going to read chat because I've seen it flying by. Wed simple, yeah, spend 10 plus years in my mom's basement learning code and watching porn. Less than 10 years of knowledge in a specific field make you feel very dumb. Wouldn't it just be easier to pick up the phone and look through it? Delete messages, passcodes. You forgot playing games. Playing game. Yes, taking her. He's gonna take 10 years to figure out her password just to play games on her phone. He's planning for the long game. That's awesome. Alright, cat, yes, go under the table and just go to sleep, please. Okay, or, oh, I poked your face. Do. Why do you have so many little toes, tiny animal? There you go. Look, just be happy down there. You're getting your fur all up in my face. Oh, wouldn't it be easier to leave a message? Forgot playing games. I mean, it's either hacking the phone or buy a pistol on the black market. Why in the world do you need to watch her? Are you not doing your manly duties correctly? I am. Long story. Gopher. Hitting us with the Bob Ross. Isn't it easier to get a new girlfriend than to learn hacking into her phone? This is just spectacular. Alright, so nothing related to the chat. Instruction 2, right? So we've got variable friend. Or you could weird science it and just build a girlfriend, right? Yeah. Phones, well, don't mind me. You guys got the chat. I've got other texty things that I'm doing. Okay, let's figure out what's going down. Alright, 2. We started friend, and then little kitty started typing shit. You know what? I expected it to be a lot worse. Not gonna lie. She didn't add that much. Fortunately, she added it within the brackets, so that's cool. On line 20, declare a new variable named friend. Set friend equal to a component class made with React.create class. Pass an object into React.create class. Give this object one property. Make the property names render. Make the property value this function. So render colon space. Oh, damn you, such and such little cat. There we go. Okay, and now it will be this guy. Copy. Paste function. Cool. I feel like it should be a little bit over, right? Let's do... Yeah, that seems better. That seems better. Cool. We're running. We're running. And death. Maybe you get a syntax or a typo. Did little... Oh. Yeah, we didn't spell react right. I don't know what that is, but that's not English. That is not a word. We had a stray E in there. Let's try it again from the top. Run. Maybe. Green check mark. Hot damn. We're doing good. We are doing good. Okay. Free. We're back on track. All is well. Inside the body of the render function. Before the return statement. Oh, that's why there's the space. Inside the body of the function. Before the return statement. Declare a new variable named friend in lowercase. So, variable lowercase friend. It's a tiny friend. Set friend equal to either friend 0, friends 1, or friends 2, depending on which friend sounds most appealing to you. Friend 0 obviously is the right choice, for sure. Friends 0? Oh. Yeah, that's where it's at. Run. Friends should be equal. Oh, I didn't do variable equals? Or, oh, I got confused. I typed variable friends, or it should be variable friend, and it needs to equal friends 0. That's what's going down. Friends equals blah. That's what's needed. Should there be a semicolon involved? No? Guess not. Cool. On another note, today I found API-io, which streamlines prototyping and testing RESTful APIs quickly. Well, I'm gonna click on that link for sure. Oracle and Apiary. Oracle buys Apiary. Powerful AI design stack built for developers. Work together, quickly designs. Looks fun. Cool. Nice. Duly noted. Tons of fun. Okay. 4. Inside the return statement. Oh, inside here, we've got our divs. Inside the return statement, inside the divs, write a nested h1. Inject friend title. Mother injects friend title. H1. Friend title. Now, I kind of feel like I should put friend title in curly braces, but they haven't really said anything about that, so I might not. Dot title. It's just we had owl.title and it gave us shit before. But you know what? I think I had a bunch of other things wrong with it. For owl title. No, it was the curly braces. You son of a... So title must be doing something. Dot title. It needs to be in curly braces since it's a JavaScript. Oh, the dot title is doing something. Cool. Okay. Thus, the curly braces, which is the JavaScript injection that we learned about yesterday. Gotcha. And that makes sense. So we've seen it twice now. Now we know whenever we've got the dot nonsense, it will need the curly braces. Cool. Cool. Ideally. I'm sure there's always some outlying special circumstances, but that's that. 5, still inside of the div, make a new line after h1. On the new line, write an image, self-closing tag, source, friend. So we're gonna do healing source, copy, image, if you will. Maybe we should just keep on one line since it's only just source. There's no alt or anything. Let's keep that in one line. Let's do that. For fun. Run that. Slowly making progress. Green check mark, maybe. Yes, good, good. 6. At the bottom of the file, use the React DOM.render to render an instance of friend. Use the example code as a guide. Wow. Something document something app. Let's do it. We've seen it before. React DOM dot render parentheses closing so forth and such single argument closing with the space gets, is it friend comma dot, you know what, that should be tabbed forward, document dot something get element. Was it a lowercase g? Is it get element ID IID app? God, that doesn't feel right. Seems like I'm headed down the right path in general, but let's run it. Holy, I guess right. I'm not really sure what they're trying to convey here. Yum? And it's like a... well, it's a mammal of sorts. I don't know, it's some furry dude licking his fingers. I don't know what to do here. I don't know how to feel about this, but cool. We've got a furry mammal enjoying his toes. Great. Good. That was our reward for all of that hell. Alright, we're getting other messages. Yeah. Some new girls are dealing with me. Other issues. There's that. Let's do... yeah, good. And let's get back to that. Lots of text things. Why is my phone blowing up? Alright, I mean, it could have its paws in honey. Could totally be innocent. That's true. Innocent mammal. Sucking on its toes just because it can. That sounds reasonable. Alright. How might you use a conditional statement inside of a render function? Okay. What? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. There we go. Good God. Yeah. Wow. Why? My phone is just blowing up right now. Why? Usually no one wants or needs to... Thank you very much. Good God. Leave me alone, people, right? We chose friend 0 in the last activity for a reason. Good God. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Good Lord. Focus. Damn it. 4 of 7. How might you use a conditional statement inside of a render function? Select today's plan.js. See one way of doing it. Today's plan. Cool. Select today's plan.js to see one way of oh, well, we already did that. We're circling. Notice the if statement is located inside of the render function, but before the return statement. This is pretty much the only way that you will ever see an if statement used in a render function. If statement, boom, here, okay. If, else, blah. It's outside the return. Inside the render, outside the return. Cool. 1. Select app.js. You can see a variable named 50/50. 50/50 will equal true half the time and false half the time. Starting on line 7, here, write a new component class named tonight's plan. If 50/50 is true, then tonight's plan should render this element, h1, tonight I'm going out, woo. If 50/50 is false, then tonight's plan should render this element, tonight I'm going to bed, woo. Hell yeah, bed plan for sure. Sounds way easier. Use today's plan as a guide, but you don't have to stick to it exactly. There are many valid ways to solve this problem using conditionals. Okay. Good to know. We've got React, we've got our variable with math stuff, and we've got this. So my question, do I need to tie that variable 50/50 equals math.random less than 5, less than 0.5. So today's plan 50/50. Oh, tonight's plan. So there's variable 50/50, which is the math function for the randomness, but we're doing it in regards to tonight's plan. Their example here is today's plan. Gotcha. All is well in the world mostly. So let's start hacking away at this. Variable. You see a variable named 50/50. Cool. Half time starting line 7. Write a new component named tonight's plan, which we will do now. Tonight's plan. Equals. Basically gonna be this. How do I want to do this? We are gonna write it out ourselves, but instead of jumping back and forth, we can just reference it here. Tonight's plan, React dot create class. We've got our closing, or our parentheses, curly braces. That drops down. We've got render, function, empty, empty. That drops down. We end up with a return at some point. We will add in the if statement, but just for my well-being, return. And then we've got, they've got a general return statement. Today I'm doing stuff. So how's that going to work since we have 2 statements? If blankety blank This is going to get ugly and interesting. Variable task. So we're going to want variable 50/50. Screw the return. Variable copy. Yeah. I think. Variable 50/50. Son of a bitch. Why? Variable. Okay, so if we do that, then we can type in our if statement. Not apocalypse. If not apocalypse, then it goes out. I guess I just throw it in. I think I'm overthinking it. If blah, then it will do this. You know, maybe that's where the 50/50 goes. If 50/50, which would be math.random less than 50%, then it would do that. So that makes sense. So if, maybe we don't need the variable task, then copy. If 50/50, then blah. Else something. Let's see. So, oh, okay, so 50/50 in parentheses, question, going out or going to bed. Cool. Okay, so I'm kind of on the right path. Line 9, though. Do I really need line 9? The variable task is throwing me off. We're going to try that for now. Use today's plan as a guide, but you don't have to stick to it exactly. There are many valid ways. All right, well then, let's try it with variable 50/50. But I don't think I need line 9. I'm pretty sure I can get rid of line 9. I still think I need a return statement. Tonight's plan should return in H1. Oh, and I need to put return. I was afraid if I put return in here, then it was gonna say it hates my life. Tonight's plan should return either blank or blank. So return. And let's get rid of this. Let's try that on for size. Maybe. Aha, green check mark. Okay. It's just their statement with the what's it called? Notice the if statement is located inside the render function, but before the return state, which I guess the if is before the return statement. So that makes sense. I don't know why. I thought having the return would throw it off. They seem to want us to be very cautious about using the return in there. So, anyways. Just one possible. BDX Topher gave you the best if-else statement for JS. It's basically the same as you stated. The best? Yeah, I'm the best. It's the simplest, but gets messy and more complex comparisons. I mean to get the value, not for action, but its case. Did he start directly on React? No. I usually like one of the return statements for my function methods style. No, it's been a long journey, long being 99 days so far, with, let's see, tomorrow's day 100, so that's 265 more days of confusion. I'm like a third of the way through all of Codecademy. We started at Learn HTML and CSS. We've gone through, we started Learn HTML and CSS Part 1, then Learn JavaScript SAS, which was super awesome, make a website, learn the command line, deploy a website, Python, HTML and CSS, JavaScript we completed recently, and then jQuery, and now we're here at React, Part 1, followed by Part 2, then we get to do Angular, and then all kinds of Ruby stuff, and then we get to finish out the nightmare that is Codecademy, and then move on to other fun things like Free Code Camp, and start tackling my own side projects. We're just sort of laying the groundwork, trying to find a good language that I like, learn a little bit about some others, how they interact with each other, how they don't interact with each other, and yeah, continue from there. There's no real set immediate goal yet. As of now, the only goal is to conquer Codecademy, but we're sort of going in order, and here we are, confused as ever, but yeah, no Node feels bad. I believe Free Code Camp covers Node, but yeah, and hopefully, I don't know if Free Code Camp also covers any of the C languages. C#, C++, hopefully it does. But yeah, that's both Node and smattering of the C languages are missing from Codecademy's repertoire, if you will. Catalog? So yeah, right? Good. So here we are. Yeah, even though it's day 99, this is only day 3 of React. So I'm still very... basically keep hitting the reset button every, week and a half or whatever after getting familiar with one thing. Fortunately, a lot of the syntax stuff is fairly similar. But yeah, that's that. Welcome to my little slice of hell. Huh? We aim to please. Okay, so we got this. We got the green check mark. Last little bit. Render an instance of tonight's plan and see what fate has in store. I'm gonna get it rendered. We're gonna steal it. We are, because we can. Boom. Well, we can't even copy and paste correctly, so good luck learning anything else. Copy. There we go, and it will be tonight's plan. 2 nights. Oh, already had the S. Green check mark. Tonight's plan, I'm going out. Woo. That is not what I wanted to hear. How about staying in and playing Breath of the Wild with no pants on? Come on. Roll it again. Tonight I'm going to bed. We did it. Boom. Breath of the Wild with no pants. That's what my future has in store. Next. Beautiful. Alright. The word this gets used in React a lot. You're especially likely to see this inside of an object that is being passed to React.create class. Here's an example. Variable ice cream guy equals React.create class, food, ice cream, comma, render function return I like this dot food. Alright. In the code, what does this mean? Woo is too much excitement all around, in my opinion. I agree. I agree with that sentiment. Traditionally not Not that wooey of a person. There are very few instances where I think a woo is well deserved, but I digress. Here we go. We are doing this. In the code, what does this mean? Once you have a guess, scroll down to see the answer. Well, before, this in JavaScript and jQuery would refer to I guess the block of code that you were currently working with, or the element. I forget the exact terminology, but this was, it just told it whatever the last thing you were doing. Like we would use click functions and or hover, dot hover over or mouse over, whatever the phrase was, dot something, and this would just be on the next line and it would reference that. So it would do this. Yeah, right? Here it is. Let's see what they have to say about it, because my explanation was god awful. All right, this refers to the instructions object being passed to React.create class. This has two properties, food and render. This .food will evaluate to ice cream. There's nothing React specific about this behaving in this way. However, in React, you will see this used in this way almost constantly. If you aren't totally comfortable with this in JavaScript, here is a good resource. Let's see if they take us to, they're taking us outside of Codecademy. Digital Web Hub, magazine, scope in JavaScript, where am I, who are you, execution and other stuff, script, Pleasantville, lonely house, something about a cat. Good. Again, not entirely critical we read that now, but it is good to know where to find the resources when you need them. Nice. Topher, I feel like you would only woo in a sarcastic context. Absolutely. Topher hit the nail right on the head. Alright. Good. So there's that. Instructions. On line 6, add a new property to the instructions object. Your new property should have name of name. Wow. Good. Creative. And a value of a string. Name, whatever your name is, goes here. Yeah, I'm assuming they don't want exactly that. I think they're talking about me. Don't forget the comma at the end. Cool. So where are we putting this? On line 6, name property. Name. We call it like variable or something, or we're just dropping name in there. We're just shoving name in. Cool. PDX inc. Why not? Run. We forgot the comma. We said don't forget the comma at the end, and we forgot the comma. Oh god. Now we're gonna have that big angry red error staring at us. Once more. Run. Cool. There's that. Inside of the render function, in between the h1 tags, add text, my name is blah. Instead of blah, reference this object's name property. Feel free to use the example code as a guide. So it'd be this.name, right? Maybe? Yes. This.name. Where are we putting this? We're doing inside the render function. Render function h1. We're dropping in this. Copy. And that will be this.name. This.name. Feel like it should be in quotes or in curly braces, but let's see how they boom. Oh, I forgot the curly braces around this .name. There was another activity last night that was just like this. So close. and I remembered the curly braces last night. I was like, why doesn't this dot name look cool with all the fun colors when it's formatted properly? It's because it wasn't formatted properly, Steven. Inconsistent, clueless, son of a... Happy thoughts. Ta-da! BDX. Although I guess we could have put Steven in that instance. Whatever. Each his own. 6 of something. 6 of 7. Way cool. Way cool. Oh my god, I just looked at the chat. Glowing soul. Woo is can't even read it. Woo is what ghosts yell at you. That's spectacular. Okay. Render functions often contain event listeners. Here's an example of an event listener in a render function. Render function return div on hover curly braces my function closing div tag. Recall that an event handler is a function that gets called in response to an event in the above example. The event handler is my function. In React, you define event handlers as property values on the instructions object, like this: react.createClass, my function, alert, stop it, stop hovering, render function, ridiculous, render function, return, on hover, this is my function, and it tells you to stop hovering. That's great. Okay, at least they had fun making this. Notice that the object being passed to react.createClass has 2 properties, my function and render. My function is being used as an event handler. My function will be called anytime that a user hovers over the rendered div. Instructions. In app.js, find the button, in app.js, find the button inside of the render function. Variable button. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. Button. Right? There we go. Exactly as they have it. Okay. Good. Now, give this button an on-click attribute. Like dot on-click? Oh, on-click equals this. Right? Where am I putting the on-click? The attribute's value should be scream function. Feel free to use the example above. Am I on drugs? WC1, stop touching me with click. Alright, fine. Stop touching. Ridiculous. Although the scream function. So there's the scream function. We've got variable react DOM, everything is being pulled in as necessary. Variable button, react.createClass. We have our scream function, which will do an alert. We also have a render function, which will return the button. Okay. So in app.blah, find this. Inside the render function, give this button an on-click. So here's button. And similar to on hover, we'll do on... Oh, because this is all the opening tag for the div. So this is all the opening tag. So hold this dot my function, it'll be this dot scream. There we go. I was confused. I was looking at lines. I was like, just got the other closing tag, and there's a bunch of lies in between here and there. No, there's no lies. Just confusion. Filled by me. Right? Right? There we go. We got it. Light bulb. On click equals curly braces. This dot screen. I believe. I kind of want to drop this down a line now. Maybe not. We're gonna run it, see if it gives us a green check mark, then we'll shift things around. Okay, green check mark, that's good. At the bottom of the file, render a self-closing button. Oh, no. We're doing the React DOM.render, not a self. That's referring to the class or the component, the button component, I think is the proper term. And then for the second argument, to the document blah. Once your component renders, click the button in the browser. Bone chilling. Gotcha. Way cool. Almost. Don't mind me. Cool. Okay. Phone is blowing up again. Here we go. We are... Yeah, they don't have it. We get to type it out again. React DOM dot render, or they test us right at the end. Tab, open, close, space, something, button, followed by, comma, document, other stuff. Document.getElementById app. Gotta remember that. Run. And, boom. Okay, you guys don't see it. Let me check. But there's another window blocking from, like, call it 9 to button. There's basically a thing on my screen. I see the pop-up when it's like from here to here, there is a window that says, it pops up, it works, it's great. It's just that window isn't set up in OBS to show. Trust me, it's there. Plus, they gave me the green check mark. It was horrifying. So, beautiful. Next, section 7 of 7, and we get the badge. Huzzah! There you go. All right, congratulations. You've finished the unit on React components. React components are complicated, their syntax is complicated, and the reasoning behind their syntax is especially complicated. You've learned a lot about both their syntax and their reasoning. You've learned about component classes and component instances. You've learned about React.createClass and the set of instructions that it must receive. You've learned how to require and how to render a component instance. You've been introduced to some common ways of using JSX in React components. You've rendered components using multi-line JSX expressions, logic inside the render function, a conditional statement, this, and event listeners. You spent a lot of time studying React components in isolation. Now it's time to start learning how components fit into the world. Really on the last line, it all falls apart there. Now it's time to start learning how components fit into with the world around them. It was them. They f***ed up right here. Yeah, all kinds of confusion. On you, Codecademy. Deal with it. Victory for Steven. Beautiful. Okay, day 97 comes to a crash and burn finale, just the way we like it. Up next, we will preview what is on the horizon for day 100. Cool. All right, components render other components. Learn how and why components render other components. Start lesson. We will peek, we will gander, and then we'll bring this to close. Okay. Tomorrow bears a small section for tomorrow. I'll probably be able to do 2 things for tomorrow, kind of like how I did 2 today. Nice. All right, a React application can contain dozens or even hundreds of components. Each component might be small and relatively unremarkable on its own. When combined, however, they can form enormous, fantastically complex ecosystems of information. In other words, React apps are made out of components, but what makes React special isn't components themselves. What makes React special is the way in which components interact. This unit is an introduction to components interacting. Good to know. That is what we have to look forward to for tomorrow. Let's see where we currently stand. Wow, we went from like 12. No, it wasn't 12%. Doesn't matter. We're at 57%, concluding day 99 at 57% of the way through React Part 1. And we currently stand with 1,159 points. And if it loads, 158 badges. 11 courses down. Very cool. Very cool. Tons of fun. Big thank you to everyone who stopped by to watch, whether by choice or if you were forced to or accidentally stumbled in here. It's greatly appreciated. Topher, thank you. Wambora, yeah. Unicus, Sundreal, and whoever else, Glowing Soul, and anyone else who really stopped by to comment. It's Moji, yeah, that's right, we remember. And the Middlemans, Kid Fundamentals, everybody, OGSD High. But yeah, that's that. So, day 99 comes to an end. Let's close out of this. Thanks again to everyone. It's greatly appreciated for the views. Stop streaming? Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it.